come all the way up here to the start of the year and we get to draw cards. We get to draw back up to our hand size, which is 6. So I have 2 in my hand. If our deck were to run out, we would take our discard pile, shuffle it up, it would become our new deck, and when that happens, you suffer attrition. And what that means is you turn your max hand size down by 1. So every time you cycle through your deck, you lose a little bit of hand size. Sim, however, does not suffer attrition. If their deck runs out, you just shuffle it up, put it back, and they're not punished in any way. We then go to determining turn order, and the first player is always the one that has the most influence. So right now I have 2 influence to Sim's 1, so we become first player. And there we go, we're back to spring. We're gonna bid for our kingdom cards and do that whole thing over again. In this case, because we're playing the short game, we're gonna do it 3 more times, and then whoever has the most influence is the winner. All right, let's start the bidding. Here are my cards. I'm tempted to play low again. Yeah, I think I'll play low. Let's see what card they take. Okay, the leftmost book one, that's that. Now, I think I might have misspoke earlier, and I'll make a little note. Sim doesn't steal our card unless it says so on the bottom of their ambition card. So here it doesn't say that they want to steal, so instead they're going to take a card. This is a tough choice, but I think I'm going to take Adventuring Party. So this is really simple. It just says that all your cards gain that Pathfinder icon. That means you can take the journey action with any of these cards, and rather than going to the lost pile, it'll go into your discard pile. It also says that active cards are also considered to be in your hand for the purposes of journeying. So we could possibly journey with face-up cards that are in these clashes. There we go. We're first, and I'm going to place my Herald right there. I really want to go to that castle. And look at here, they're going to be placing their Herald in the same spot. This is really scary because now everything is going into winning this top clash, and I'm afraid that all of those are going to be going right here. Taking a big risk, but boom. We're going to put our 10 there. We're going to go all in. I'm going to go my 7 here, and let's maybe go 5 here. Or possibly this guy. No. Now they're going to place cards. Ooh. Okay, that's good to see. So just a silver up here. Then bronze and bronze. Now we can do our spring actions. Oh, and I forgot, because I'm always going to forget this. They always get bonuses when they take their kingdom cards. So this lets them move another supporter in. And that one with the book symbol, that gets them an influence that they're going to place onto the council that matches its current ambition. And then it'll gain a lore. So that's going on the Council of Secrets. We're going to use our innkeeper to look here and see what's going on. This is what I was afraid of. This has deadly. So that deadly would then wipe this out. Now, that little helmet there means it's resilient. Resilient means that if you're eliminated, you don't go to the lost pile, you go to the discard pile. Now, I could use my spy network to move this card in here, or a card from my hand. I could also move this card in here. And that would actually kill this card. Because you can see down here, it says that if any of this type of card, which matches that icon, is in this clash, eliminate this card. And then this card has that shield. That means that it's invulnerable. It cannot be killed with this deadly feat. So this is the perfect card to come in here. The problem is I might end up losing this anyway, because then I'd have a 2, and they may be putting all of those in here and still win. Okay, so I think I have an idea. I'm actually going to swap these two. So that was my innkeeper. We also have to remember that there's going to be a fog card that comes out, and we don't know what the threat's going to be. Oh no, we should know what the threat is, because actually I forgot. That should be placed out here at the beginning of the round. So let's see what the principal threat is. Hearts and minds falter. Sim gains twice as much influence when resolving its Herald reward in regions with fog, including any bonuses from the Council of Relics. Oh, this is bad. Well, we're going to put both of our guys here, and we're going to activate our spy network. So we rotate that down. So once again, we can look at any of these cards. I want to look right here. Okay, that's a 3, so that's no problem. And now I'm going to swap. I'm going to swap this with this, because I can use one of my occupying cards or a card in my hand. Okay, well, that's all we can do. We just have to hope that that card doesn't screw us, which it probably will. You know what? I'm going to activate School of the Streets anyway. This isn't going to work 100%, but I'm going to need it. So basically what this does is it gives my heir the deadly condition. But also for the rest of the round, anytime any of my cards eliminates another card, then I'll get a bonus. I'll get an influence and a lore. So I'm going to set that up there just to remind myself that I have that. This really hinges on this card. Ooh, okay. That is helpful. That is helpful. So, lots of fog, but you can see here, it's going to be distributing its supporters across all of these clashes. So you just do them in order. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. So that means that we're going to have 4 to their 3, and that means we're going to win this clash. Oh, baby. That was fortunate. Now, because it's in last place, it's going to get to decide how these go. So Highlands first, then Lowlands, then Plateau. Reveal. I don't have any sun powers that I want to use. They don't have any. Now the night effects happen. Deadly, but it's blocked. And then down here, if this type of card is in the clash, eliminate this card. And when we eliminate a card, we get an influence and a lore. Now we tally up 2, 3, 4 to 3. We win. And now we're coming right here to this castle. So we're getting 1 influence plus 1 for our herald. So that'll be 2. But we get something else because our opponent's herald was also in that location. That means we can steal an influence. That's why it was such a big deal that we won this. And now we also get this castle effect. So we're going to get to take a govern action, and we can do it with a card either in our hand or an active card. So we could do it with this one, although it doesn't have any of those hammer icons. But if we do, we can actually discard all the other cards that are at the chosen council. And for Sim, when it says cards, it also means their influence. So let's put that card right there. It's got 1 hammer. And best yet, we get to remove all of their influence there. Oh, that was brilliant. Okay, now down here. Going with a 5. Oh, and it's got a shield, so it's going to block my deadly. That's a shame. This also has a shield. Darn, I was really hoping that this would be able to eliminate this. But not only that, it's going to win here. Oh well, that's fine. So no summer. My deadly goes off, but it's blocked. So we just tally up. That's going to be 8-5. It wins. It's going over here to the shrine. At the shrine, it gains 1 influence, and then I must discard 2 cards from the top of my deck and or hand. If I'm unable to, I suffer attrition. Well, that's annoying. No, I don't want to discard that from my hand. So I'll just do 2 off the top. Okay, that's that done. And now here. Once again, it's a shame. I have deadly here because of that, but they're blocking it, so can't. But at the very least, we've won. If we were to take the harvest field, then we could just reset this to 3. But I think let's just go for battlefield and let's just get 2 influence. And there we go. So we're going to do this rally. Boom, put it back into our hand. I definitely want to journey. I know that for sure. Question is, do I also want to govern? No, I think I'll just stick with that 1 governing. I will journey, though. Well, wait, okay, well, first I'll activate that. I'm going to activate the Council of Oaths. That's going to let me return 1 supporter for every hammer I have there, which I only have 1. But if I have the most hammers, then I can do an additional 1. So I can get 2 supporters back. And I could take it from the board or from the lost pile. Now I'll journey, and remember all of my cards now have the journey effect because of Adventuring Party. I'm actually going to use this. It's going to give me 1 lore. That is going to go into the discard pile, which is a shame, but I now have 3 lore. When you collect a lore, you have the option of spending it. And that's the only time you can spend it. You can't spend it just at any time. It has to be immediately when you've gained 1. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend this lore, and that's how we get these new cards. Now this one's nice. It only costs 2 lore, 11 strength, and it's got 2 symbols of each. This can also be used to steal a kingdom card. That could be good. I also have this one that costs 3 lore, Black Powder Ploy. It has a night effect where it will eliminate all opponents of that type, their air and then the little cup icon, in the current clash. If at least 1 card was eliminated this way, choose 1. Either gain an influence or gain a lore. That's not bad. Now I have this one, which is 5 lore, so we can't afford that one. But I also have 2 headquarters, and each of those are just 2. The Moonshine Cave sort of lets us get an extra kingdom card, because you can only hold 2. This Syndicate is interesting. This says that whenever you acquire a kingdom card, place a faction marker on a council that matches that card's suit, a max of 2 per council. Each marker gives you +1 hammer in that council. I think for the moment I just want this 11, so that's going to cost 2 lore. Also, at the end of the game, if you've removed all of these cards, you get a little bonus where your lore, 2 lore, can be converted into 1 influence. Now, if I wanted, I still haven't governed. I could actually govern with this card. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on to it. Okay, those are my autumn actions. Sim now gets to take some autumn actions. They're going to look at their ambition, and then they're going to place one in. So that matches the Council of Secrets. And now they're going to activate it. That's the only place where they have any power. And when they resolve the Council of Secrets, they are going to place markers equal to the influence that's on there. If they don't have any markers on the map, they're going to place markers on the location where their herald is. So they're going to place 2 markers right there. If they had already had markers on the board, then they would just place it there. If they ever place a 4th marker in one location, then they remove those, and then it would basically resolve the power of that location. All right, it's now going to journey, which means it just gets a lore. And now that it has 3 lore, it's going to discard that to get one of its Site of Power cards. We go to winter. No winter effects, so now we're just going to clean up and advance the track. Now I won't forget, at the start of the round, the principal thread is drawn. This says fading front lines. This is a day action in the summer. If there is fog in the region, for each active player card in the region, the player must discard a card from their hand. For each card they cannot discard from hand, they must discard a card from the current region. And we have 2 fog that's going out. Okay, that's pretty annoying. We now get to draw up to our hand size, which is 6. Do we have enough cards? No, we only have 3. So that means we have to shuffle up our discard pile, but we get attrition. So our hand size is now only 5. So we're actually not going to draw another card. We still have the most influence, so we're going to stay first player. And it's back to the spring. We're bidding. A couple things going through my mind. One, I could try to steal one of their cards. The second thing is I could just not take a kingdom card because I only have 5 cards in my hand. So if I wanted to govern and journey, or if I wanted to do 2 journeys, like if I get this wilderness, then I would need 5 cards. I think I'm going to bid with this 4. Oh, and a bid with a 5. Oh, it is going to attempt to steal. Well, it certainly can with that 5. So it's got the strength. So if we had a cross swords kingdom, then it would take that. We don't. So it's going to move down to the coins. And that's this one. That just goes into the discard pile. And now it's going to have to remove one of the ones that they have. And so that's when we go by the arrow. That just gets discarded. And now they're going to get their bonus. They get a supporter. And with the coin, they just get an influence. All right, well, I think I will take one of these now. I'm going to take the Glittering Caves. It says whenever you journey with a card that has the Pathfinder, gain 1 influence and 1 additional lore. I would do the wilderness here, but actually, yeah, I do want to do that. And they're going right here. Okay, let's place cards. All right, what do we do here? I think I'm going to go all out up here with my 11. We'll go 9 here. And 5 here. Yeah. hopefully we can resolve this one first. But that's not going to be up to us. Oh, no, it's going to be... Oh, no, it's the scheme that does it. So, yeah, we don't know. Uh-oh. Gold, gold. So, gold's going into the plateau. Then the lowlands. Then the highlands. Very good. Okay, we got our innkeeper and our spy network again. This is very helpful. Let's start with the innkeeper and let's look up here. Make sure nothing funny's happening. All right. That's overkill, frankly. I may want to swap. I have this 9 here. I think I'm going to swap these two. Okay, that was my innkeeper. Let's use our spy network for right here. Oh, the monolith. Haven't seen this. This is one of their new cards. If this card is active in the current clash, before Sim performs any other sun actions, reveal a threat. Then, if this region has no fog, place a fog in it. Ugh. That's a tough card to see. We may have to safe house this guy out of there and just give this up. I can now do a swap. I could put one of these guys in. Do I want to swap this one out? Might as well swap this with this one. Oh, this is not going well. Where do I even want to put these? I don't think it makes sense to put them here. Maybe I'll just hold on to these. I might win down here. I'll put them here. And what the heck? I'm going to use my night raids. This is great if you're playing multiplayer game because it takes cards out of your opponent's hands. Sim doesn't have a hand, but we would get to remove the top card of their deck. Now, they don't suffer attrition or anything, but that is a gold card, so I could at least get that out of there. Seems like a useful time to do that. All right, those are my spring actions. That's really all I can do. Let's flip over their scheme. Oh, no. So fog is going into the highlands and the plateau. And all of these are going up here. Let's see what order we're putting these in. Oh, we know what order. Highlands, plateau, lowlands. All right, well, let's do it. We can do summer first, but I don't think we have anything. They're going to do their summer thing. So we have to discard one card from our hand because of the fog. There's no night. We tally up the strengths. It's 9-7, so we win. We're going to do wilderness. So we're getting 1. And now we can journey, and we can journey with one card that is either active or a card in our hand. So we're going to do an active one, and that's this one right here. We're going to journey with this card. Because of our glittering caves, if we journey with a card that has a Pathfinder, we get another influence, and we'll get an additional lore. So that's 1 lore, plus 1, we'll get 2 lore, and I'm going to immediately go spend 3 lore to get this card. And that goes right into my hand. And then this goes into my discard pile. That one's done. Come here. And we have to decide. This monolith is going to put out another threat. We now have a card that we can discard. So we won't lose this card from that, but another threat's going to come out. We have no idea what that's going to do. So we're taking a risk, but I think we'll keep it in and hope that nothing happens to it. I could use the safe house to pull it, and then we'll just abandon this clash altogether. But I think I'm going to try to hang in here. So no summer actions, and then this is going to draw a threat before that threat goes off. Towering Silhouette. Oh no! Wow. Sim gains +5 strength in each region with a fog. So that becomes a secondary threat. That's going to activate right now. This is also going to happen, so I have to discard this card or lose this. Now, here's the problem. Ah, that's really unfortunate. I should have put these guys up here. I got a little greedy. So I'm discarding that. But unfortunately, we're now tied. Because of that +5, it's 11 to 11. So when there's a tie, you actually play more cards into the clash. And if I understand this correctly, this is going to be really bad. Basically, we would play another card into, if I could, I don't have another card in my hand. So it's going to play into this, a new clash. It's just a 1. But then, like, the summer things happen again. And there's 1 on this, so there's ruse here. What does it say? If this card is active in the current clash, the sim draws the top 2 cards of its deck face down. It then plays the highest tier card face down next to the region. The other card is discarded. Oh, I see. So this is just a ruse. It's actually going to play even another card. So these two, they're tied, so it's going to play the first one. That gets discarded. But this is going to happen again. And I don't have a card to discard, so this one gets discarded. Ugh. So there we go. It won. It's going to pick this one here, so it's gaining 2 influence plus another one because of its herald. That's an unfortunate unfortunate thing. Could have been fixed if I had just put one of these in here. Well, live and learn. Okay, now we're down here. No fog, so luckily the +5 and all that nonsense doesn't apply. Ugh, but we have another ruse. So we have to shuffle up. We're going to draw the top 2. Okay, we got kind of lucky there, so it's going to do the silver. Oh, you're kidding me! We lost this one too. Man, this was a bad round. It's going for the Necropolis. Gets an influence, and then it's going to discard the top 3 cards of its deck, stopping if there are no cards left in it. It then shuffles its discard pile and moves all gold cards in its discard pile to the top of its deck. All right, so it's going to shuffle up its gold and put it on top. Whew, that was ugly. Autumn time, is there anything I can do? I was really hoping to win so I could go to the Necropolis. I could get some cards. I could do my journeying and everything. But boy, that is not happening. So yeah, there's nothing I can do. Except for up there, the Council of Oaths, I can get 2 of my guys back. They're going to govern by placing one of these right there. Okay, they then resolve their secrets. Ah, so they're going to put 2 more out right here. That's going to be the 4. So they're going to activate the castle. So they gain 1 more of these. Man, they are making a furious comeback this round. Okay, they're going to discard our card over there. And then they're going to place 2 on there. Then they get to activate that. And they're going to get 4 of their supporters. Man. And then they're going to journey by getting a lore. Nothing from winter, so we're going to go on to the last round. Clean everything up. Okay, I have 10 influence. And they have 7. So we're hanging in there. Let's see what the principal threat is. Hearts and minds falter. Okay, we've seen this one. They're going to gain twice as much influence when resolving its herald reward. So we want to make sure that it doesn't win its herald spot. Okay, I get 5 cards. Turn order remains the same. Final round. All right, we're bidding, and I have no idea what I want. I don't have the greatest hand of cards here either. I could play the 10 and then just pull it back. Or I could play the 6 and then I could potentially steal their 5. Yeah, okay. I'm going to bid with the 6. 12. My goodness. They're not stealing. Oh, these are all coin cards. So they're going to take the leftmost and replace that. Now this is bad because they have 2 coins there. That's going to give them 2 influence as a bonus. Oh man, I can feel the game slipping away here. I really want this battlefield just to get the points. Are any of these cards going to help me? This card would give me a point just automatically. But the Innkeeper is so useful. Well, I do have the Spy Network, so don't necessarily need that. Yeah, okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to get rid of the Innkeeper. And I'm going to take this. It says if you have no lore in your supply, gain 1 influence. And I'm placing this right here. They're going over here. And now we're going to place cards. I think I have to go 10. And now I have some weird ones. This one has deadly. And this one has flank. So if this card is active, you can actually move it into a region that's yet to be activated. So like you could give up, I could give up this region and have it move into this region if this were to go before that one. So that could be useful. Yeah, otherwise that's kind of the best we can do. And we know this is going to be bad. 2 gold and a silver. Yeah, gold, gold. Okay, so we can gain an influence with this. We're going to use our last spy network. So once you go past the 1, it just goes back to the harvest field. So let's look right here. Deadly. So I can swap this with a card in my hand, and we can get this guy back out there. Kill that one. Oh, or I could swap it with this one. That's the same thing, but it's a 4. Yes. It's a shame for that to go out of commission, but this is perfect. And then, you know what? I'm not taking any chances. Now, hold on. Let's not be unreasonable. We don't need that. We don't need that. We know we're going to win this. This card's going to be gone. Unless there are some shenanigans. There were shenanigans last time. Now I'm paranoid. No, let's go for the Gusto, because I would like to win that. All right. That's the extent of what I can do. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. It says it's going to put it in the lowlands. If it cycles through, it won't be 4. If it puts all of them here, 4 plus 2 is just 6. And it has 7 there. Yeah. It doesn't make sense for me to put these here. I'm pretty sure. What if it just does it in 2 of them, though, and has 7? That's going to be 3 and 4. But then we'll have a new clash, and I have a... No, I just have a 2. Crap. Okay, I am going to put 1 here in case that's only going to 2 of them, and then it's possible it could wind up with 4. And so now I'll have 5 just in case. That's very paranoid, but that's what I'm going to do, because I have to win this. Ooh, okay. The scheme card did not lie. They're all coming here. And we're going here first. Highlands second. This one third. Interesting. All right, let's do it. Oh my. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is where flank comes in super handy. Day action, we're flanking away. We got this one won. We're going to flank up here. So that's it. It's going to win. It's doing the shrine. It gains an influence. And then we need to discard 2 cards from the top of our deck and or hand. And if we're unable, we suffer attrition. So, yeah, we got to get rid of both of them. Okay, we're still ahead. Now we're coming up here, and we got some reinforcement. Ooh, and we needed it. Oh, no, we didn't, because this has deadly. Ooh. Right, I forgot. This has deadly. So we can actually flank away over to here, because we're not needed. Deadly activates. Bam. We win. We're going to do Wilderness. So we gain 1. And now we can journey with a card in our hand or an active card. So we can journey with this guy. And the best part, if we do this with a Pathfinder, then we get another influence and an additional lore. And now we're here. Got that deadly, but we countered it. So you've seen this happen before. Boom, this thing is gone. We win. We're going here. We're getting 2 plus 1 because of our Herald, so we're getting 3. Yes. That's done. Yeah, I have no autumn abilities. I have no cards. I can't journey. I can't do anything. So that's it for me. They're going to get to do some stuff, though. They're going to place one of these here. Then the secrets, they're going to put 2 out, but that won't do anything. And then the oaths, you're just going to get more of these people. But again, this is the end of the game, so it doesn't matter. They journey to get a lore. Winter effects. We don't have any. And that's the end of the game. So there you have it. We have 16. They have 10. So we have won. If we happen to be tied, then whoever had this favor would win. And if nobody has that, then the tie goes to the person who is highest on the turn order track. But there you have it. That was the short game. Again, a standard game would go 1 round longer, and then you can even play an extended game where you go 1 round even further than that. And I was just playing against the standard Simulacrum. In the book, you can select from these different simulacra that have different personalities, different play styles. There's a bunch of them of different difficulty levels. And then you can even forge your own simulacra. There's ways of building a random one or even custom building your own. There's also 4 different factions that you can play. There's an expansion, so there's just tons of content that you can explore. But there you go, that is all for me. I'd like to thank all of the financial supporters of Totally Tabled, including the Totally Radical Mitch Fisher, Hextra, John Kohler, Scott Myers, and Jay Satterwhite, as well as the Totally Bodacious Michael Crampton. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can join on YouTube or my Patreon at www.patreon.com/totallytabled. You'll gain access to my new exclusive podcast, Table Talk, as well as unboxing videos and whatever extra stuff I come up with. As always, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.